Yes, a special one from the CEO, stand with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Fonjema, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat kebab, congratulate my brother, to spoon.
The former president. Maybe
You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon.
I doubt whether you even understand this country. Even though you led it for 6 years. I doubt whether you even knew what was happening around you. Or whether you know what's happening now. And we listen to you, see the lack of understanding of what it means to run a country. So no wonder why, true that you were not sleeping according to you, the country sank to where it was. At no time in the history of this country, the leaders of our country could just be sanctioned left and right. That our most respectable partner, the United States. You were not sleeping, you were awake. This place became a dumping site for cooch and other harmful substances. You were not sleeping. Corruption reached its zenith under your leadership. You were firmly awake and not sleeping. Auditors were being murdered in cold blood, and your government could not act. Your eyes were wide open. But civil servants who were already underpaid were reduced to beggars to harmonize their salaries. You were not sleeping, but every government institution we've inherited, including where I stand, the Ministerial Information, looks like a dumb site. With your eyes wide open, put our country almost on the verge of being a failed state. Yes, Mr. Former President, you said this is not a change we wanted. But how could it not be? When you came with your change, in 6 months, you built 47 condominiums. Honor your change. President Bwaka is almost at 6 months, he's not built one. He said the president is appointing people based on nepotism. Your former chairman told us how you appointed people. You see, President, our orientation is different. We want to respect you. We want to respect all our former leaders. Don't push us. When you want to be dirty, we can do it greater than you. Let's keep our governance process civil. Sometimes if you don't understand the space that you're in, you created a big problem here that we are committed to fix. In 5 months, President Bwaka is bringing in 285 pieces of yellow machines that will make our roads possible, clear farmland for our people. That's practical something that the people will feed, the country will feed. The roads will be accessible. In 5 months, the road you abandoned right here on RIA Road. Just go there, even as it's raining. The work has been progressing since Bwaka took over. It took 4 years to build that one road. In months. Go and see the progress.
25. I'm talking every month. Then gasoline, the monetary value is $2,150 US dollars. This time they don't give you gasoline coupon in terms of the gallon. They give it to you in a dollar, whether that's $5, $10, $30, or $50. So the monetary value is $2,150 US dollars. When you put these sums together, the US dollar component, it is 15,000. I am not speculating any longer. And I am not saying it is around or close to. I'm not saying it in between or around or on it. I'm giving an exact figure. 15,325 US dollars gross. When you do tax deduction, you come close to 12,000 US dollars every month. Then in addition to 29,700 Liberian dollars in salary, in Liberian dollar component. I believe this amount is too high. It's too high. We should cut it down. And that is why I am taking 5,000 US dollars out of this amount and returning the rest of the money to Ministerial County so that the people can determine what they want to do with it in terms of humanitarian and other developmental needs from the 17 districts every month. We make that available. If after we pass the new budget and this amount reduces, we will still be within the neighborhood of 10 to 12,000, which I believe is still too high. But even if we came at 10,000 and we're returning the minimum of $5,000 to the county, we'll be giving this county 60,000 US dollars in 1 year from our income as a means of protest for the remainder of our colleagues, for us to do it as a government. Yesterday, and including today, health workers are on go slow for their incentive and other medical supplies that are lacking. From what I have here, if we gave 10,000 US dollars back through the government system, 103 of us will generate and save 1.3 million US dollars every month. Times 12 months will be over 20 plus million dollars. We can put it back in the health sector, upgrade it, and make it free or really affordable for our people. Or we can put it in the education sector, upgrade the public schools from kindergarten to 12th grade, and make it free with quality. Then the poor people children that troop on us to ask us to assist them with school fees, we as public officials can send them to public school because it's free, because we have made it of quality. If we take 15,000 and put it in our pockets, and the people believe that most of the government money in our pockets, they will come to us to take it out of there. I don't want to be a humanitarian on government money. Especially, I'm a policy maker. Take more of government money, put it in my pocket, and give small back to the sectors that's supposed to benefit bulk of the people. I don't want to be a part of that. And so I'm doing this as a mark of protest to demonstrate to this country and to all of us and my colleagues that it is possible that under this difficult period, we can live with 5,000 every month when we do the right thing with the 10,000. Imagine if this policy became a government policy where it will affect the executive and the judiciary.
Refuse to mean the House of Representatives refuse against that. And about to be why Keke this morning?
The government has refused to give us our benefit.
You mean the government refused?
Yes, the government.
So that this is another number. Another number. Why Keke this morning? What happened to your car?
To the Liberian people.
Okay.
That President Parker is in error. You won't get certain lawmakers at the lower house misbehaving on the lawmakers.
Is that why you ran Keke?
Of course. Because President Parker get upset, he now get a vehicle.
So the
past 3 months, how we going to go to our constituents?
Wow.
All the senators receiving a benefit.
So call back.
I know we're going back. Let me go to the gang, get all card around.
Power lesson play them our car to use it. And the new car, that what we order bar from our own
Calling
party.
the attention.
We have vehicles.
Yeah.
Because the executive have refused to give us vehicles, we have to do our work. We have to work for the.
Liberians are dying, no money in the hospitals. We use 25,000 to procure ID card. No one can talk about it. The press, more will be talking. I want to point to the thing about it. But I think it's important.
How much you think
They're not alleged. Get a chairman ask me for them.
How much you think?
Just go to the 9 day come back. Yeah.
Should be used, sir? How much you think should be used?
75,000 was placed for the purchasing on the land, budget land, for ID card and electronic land for the chamber. But surprisingly, they're saying to the chairperson is saying to us that he used.
Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba.
Okay, so we're here tonight on another edition of the program. Of course, this is the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. I'd like to say welcome to all of you across Liberia. Thanks for joining us on another edition of the program. This is where we get to bring you the updates. We talk about Liberia. We talk about the trending national issues. And of course, with the diverse panel we have here every night, we bring you objective analysis on those issues every single day. I'd like to say welcome. Thanks to all of you across the world for joining us tonight. Many thanks to our folks in Radio Land, Spoon FM 107.5, Fabric 101.1, Super 95.5, and other frequencies across the country. Thanks to our partner radio stations across Liberia that are always relaying this program. Many thanks to our folks online as well. As usual, we're streaming live across the internet on YouTube. Spoon Talk Live is the YouTube handle. On Facebook, we are there, Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and Super TV. I want to say welcome to all of you tonight. It's a great way to start another edition of the Late Night Show. It was great. Last edition of the show was so amazing. Lots of issues we had to talk about. We couldn't exhaust everything on the plate for last night because it was a heated conversation, and the promise is to be even more fascinating tonight. First thing is, kindly share the program as you come on tonight. We ask you to please share the show in your different group chats on your Facebook pages, and let's have a great conversation tonight. So welcome. The Late Night Show is on, and I want to welcome folks joining us across the world now. Let me go to the comment section and recognize a few of you here as we get set to start the show tonight. I see, where do I start from? Okay, so I see Eddie Kawa is here tonight. He says, good evening, Nelson. I'm watching from Canada. Thanks for joining us tonight. Kamara Zinan is here from Dole Community. Yes, I see Jonathan Yanko. That's Jonathan Yanko. Is following from. He says, "Good morning, Spoon." I see Eric McGill. Mr. McGill, thanks for joining us tonight. As always, you're here. You're watching from the state. You said. I see Tommy Jr. Thanks for being here. Our own dear sister, Lofty Bundle, is here tonight. SOJ Kamara, thanks for joining us tonight. Victoria Lamine, I see Coco Zakura, yeah, thanks for joining us. Chris is here tonight. I see James Crowman has joined us. George Silis, September Wise Child Kalum, thanks for being here. Our own dear sister, Nurse Faith, thanks for joining us tonight. Navira M, thanks for being here. Felicia Sewa, thanks for joining us. I see T. Samuel B. Faya, Alice Ban, Mariman Bimba, and Joseph Colley is here tonight as well. Thanks to all of you for joining us. The names are so many. Just can't go through everything I have here. I see James Sumo, Edwin Zopon, Isaac Nelson II. Yes. And all of you here tonight, thanks for joining in. Let's have a great show. Kindly share the program as you come on tonight as we get set to take you through another journey. And it's amazing. We here, you on the other side of the screen, and together we're having this show, making our respective contributions, adding our voices to the national discourse. It's an amazing thing, and we want to welcome everyone tonight. Let me go in the background and bring the guys on. I see Moba Zoka is here, our co-moderator. Moba, thanks for joining us, man. It's good to have you on tonight.
Thank you, Nelson.
Yes, it's a good thing we're here tonight. I see you're still getting set.
Well, I'm glad I tried to plug my phone on charger. So.
Yes,
I'm good.
I see you're still getting. But it's a good thing that we're here tonight. To talk about Liberia, to talk about the issues. To give our people the updates, which we are certainly going to do tonight. But I wanted to just do your opening before I come in with the update.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson, and thank you to all our listeners on Radio Land, Facebook, YouTube. We say thank you for taking upon your time, listening to us. Well, there's a lot of things, a lot of things going on right now in Liberia, and we all understand how these things work. I will first emphasize on the representative talking about Keke issue and all that stuff. Nelson and Leo one, they should walk to go to session. They should walk.
You want lawmakers to walk?
Yeah,
we had that on the plate for discussion.
Yeah, I know. I don't want pressure.
But I know it's part of the opening. But Mova, does it look decent in the first place to have lawmakers walking to go to work? Is it?
Nelson, these lawmakers have looted massively from the masses. Nelson, why would one person ride for the 7,000 car?
No, for the 5,000.
What the difference between 45 and 47?
2,000
and the 2,000 they can get it. They can get it when they ready to carry on that cocoa G and all that stuff. So one person, right, in a country where Liberians live below the poverty, let's say they live in poverty, and the rate they live below $50, right, per day. Then lawmaker riding car cost 45 or 46,000 United States dollars. Tomo Kaya and Sugar Co. Then everything people won't be talking about the president did, the president that. Look, the lawmaker, they are our problem. Until they can come together and work for the interest of the Liberian people, Liberia will remain there for the next 50 years. And I see all lawmakers talking about, they are benefit, they work. No, Ilioma won. Lawmakers should only have their pay. And government, right? Government, I say the thing over and over. Nursing in a Western world, in a developing world, where in other countries, you see people, government run based on the government itself, meaning they will purchase the car, they will fuel the car, they will get a car to the workers who work for that identical government entity. If they don't, they park the government car and get in a private car and do what they want to do. But it's not happening in Liberia. It's not. People talking about 45,000 car any other day. They now will go, they will carry the GSA, then they send somebody to go buy it, then they own it. Because they say in the law. In the law. So I think nothing in the law that the Liberian people are benefiting from. They are suffering. And when we come here, let us say, hey, we shouldn't come here and say that lawmaker gonna try and bring concession in the country. Let the people work. They're only talking about themselves. How they want this, they want that.
Thank you for that opening. I think it's a great one, and yes, I want to again welcome all of our folks to the show tonight. So let's go ahead and then bring the updates quickly, and then we're gonna move into the conversation for tonight. There's so much happening in the country. A lot is going on. Too many things happening all at once, all at the same time. So the last evening we played the response from the information minister to the president, to the former president, and after the former president had conducted an interview on a local radio station, and giving his take on the way the current government is proceeding, and uh, referring to the current president in so many ways. But today, there's a lot happening, and the first thing is that there is this conversation going on with the National Port Authority, and at this point, based on the different reports that are coming in, this is not just about the NPA. This is happening at several ministries and agencies of government, talking about um, decisions to redundant or to retire or to lay off some individuals based on different reasons. And it varies, and it depends on where you are at a particular time. And so there are reports that a decision has been reached at the National Port Authority following a meeting with the contractors of the NPA. The meeting was held on July 3, and during the meeting, the NPA is reportedly informing or has informed contractors that the management has decided to redundant all contractors with no clear explanation as to what led to the decision. This is something that's going on. These are reports that are in the corridors in the media as well. Today, Martin Colley appeared on a local radio station. He was very key. He was very instrumental in the election. He took a side. He supported that side. That side happens to be the side that won the election. And at the early stage, he was appointed to serve on the asset recovery team. And he resigned. You know the rest of the story. But he appeared on the local radio station this morning, and he described the Unity Party government under the current president, President Bwakai, as a group of unserious people. So according to Martin, the government has failed to prioritize the health, the education, and agriculture sectors of the country. He said the government promised the Liberian people during the 2023 elections that these are areas that they would have prioritized. But up to present, the government is yet to do so. So in about 5 months of this current administration, in about 5 months of this government being in power, Martin is describing or referring to the government as a failed government under President Joseph Yuma Boakai. So he said that the current president is no longer considered as the most educated indigenous president, and that good governance under this administration is nowhere to be found. Let's put it that way. So this is where we are. On the flip side, the Ministry of Education is threatening to penalize schools administrators who will collect graduation fees from 12th graders prior to the release of the WACS results. Moba, you are aware that 12 graders across the country will say the regular wax exam. It used to be WAEC, now it's wax. And so what a lot of schools have been doing is that they will uh in the spirit of preparing for the activity, not to get caught up in the too many things you will have to do in a very short time. Talking about graduation, most schools will start to collect graduation fees ahead of time, but the Ministry of Education is warning against that. They are saying that um, it's in total violation of the ministry's policy, and there will be punishment from the government of Liberia were they to notice or receive any report of any school collecting graduation fees from students prior to the results. They are saying that schools should wait before for the results before collecting graduation fees, and the fees should not exceed 5,000.
Bring that up.
No, I'm talking about the fees now. In this case, the fees, the penalty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it will not exceed 5,000, and so these are actions that the Ministry of Education will be taking in the soonest possible time. There's something happening with the health workers. Maba, you are aware that we had a conversation here with some of the guys from Lofa County. They had their own plights, they had their own concerns as to the decision that was coming from the health minister to appoint Dr. Raphael as the county educational officer. The county health officer, the CHO. A lot of them abandoned health facilities, and the health minister was able to listen to them. But this time around, health workers again are warning a nationwide protest if their salaries and benefits are not speedily addressed. So the person who happens to be the president of the National Physicians Assistants Association of Liberia, Theophilus Fayard, is warning on specified actions that will bring the government to compliance if the issues of salaries of health workers are not addressed. So they're arguing that the increment in the health budget has no impact on the salaries of health workers across the country. So they want the health workers' salaries to be increased. So once the budget is increased for health workers, it should have a reflection on the salaries of those health workers. In the absence of that, they're saying that they're going to protest. Yesterday, the education minister appeared at the Liberian Senate on Tuesday, and she had there was a public hearing, and the back and forth. There were lots of information she provided, but key amongst those things were that the health minister rated the educational system of the country. You know that former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf said education in Liberia is a mess. She said the educational system was a mess, giving different reasons, and there were different factors she actually took into consideration when she made that comment. But today, about a decade after former President Sirleaf made that comment, the education minister again said the system is seriously challenged. And she was making this comment after a tour she had in several counties. Charles, welcome to the show. After a tour in 14 of the 15 counties of Liberia, she said she went to schools. There were parts of Liberia where she went. The teachers, the vocabularies they were putting on the blackboard, they were wrong. Okay, in other words, the teachers misspelling the thing and the putting on the board. The teachers aren't pronouncing the words well. Imagine English and vocabulary teachers not having a solid foundation in those areas. She said on another occasion she visited another place. You know, she will not state the names of those places, not to put them on the
You
spotlight.
mean
But
you mean recent?
yeah, I'm talking about. I'm talking about. Just few days ago, she should have made that appearance about few weeks ago, but she wanted to complete that tour. Since, in fact, she was just appointed as the education minister, and she wanted to have a clear understanding of what the sector is like and what the issues are, and so she decided to go across the country. And so, but not just that, she said there was one school where she visited, and the students were begging her. They say, Madam Minister, please tell our teacher and they will not pass all because we not learn nothing there yet. We'll come to school and the teachers can come to class. So now, 2 weeks, no class. Will be coming, no teacher coming in the classroom. So we beg you, please tell our teacher that they will not pass all. Let me tell that one all like bring way. You got that something, you know. So yeah, and a lot. She spoke about the scholarship, how Liberian students are on scholarship, about 195 or so, of them or so. Some of these people, when they go on those programs, they don't come back. They will change, because when you apply for the scholarship, those scholarships are given based on what the needs are for the country. Those different areas that the country is so much in need of some expertise or what have you, and then they gave the scholarships. So, for example, in the sciences, and in all of those areas, they will give scholarship. But in most cases, some students will change the process, how people get on those scholarships, and a lot she spoke about. But yeah, these are just some of the issues, and let's hope we can have a great conversation tonight. Tuesday, we saw lawmakers going up Capitol Hill with kekes as to whether this is going to continue. Tomorrow is going to be another session day, Thursday, as to whether the lawmakers are going to continue on that path. That's another thing to talk about. And so let's have a conversation around this. I want to welcome everyone. And again, Charles, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. We are here again to discuss our country, Liberia. And let me say, Mova, what's up, my man?
All right, brother. How you doing?
Good. Yesterday, we'll put you on the spotlight.
No. Everything that happened behind the scene, let me behind the scene.
Yeah, but again, our people in Radio Land, whatever means you are watching or want to say, thank you for being here. We appreciate all of your comments and all of your concern. Again, we are here to discuss Liberia, and we pray and hope that we'll have a very fruitful conversation.
Yeah, so I want us to start like this. When the education minister was asked to rate the system, the educational sector in Liberia, he rated the system on a scale of 1 to 10 at 4 to 5. It's somewhere around 40 to 50%. Well, former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf did not give an actual, she did not go ahead to rate the system. But this education minister, Dr. Jala, rated the system. She could not give the system 10 over 10. She could not give the system 8, 9, 7, 6. And even the 5 was not exact. She said 4 to 5. over 10. That's how she will rate the educational system of the country. Yes, let's agree that this rating is
Nelson, can I ask a question? Like the schools she visited was like government school or just a private school or
no,
just a
not just
random?
government schools. Randomly. You know that all other schools in the country, aside from just the government schools, they fall under um, supervision and regulation of the Ministry of Education. They fall under the Ministry of Education, all of that. So it was not just government schools, but the government schools were in the majority, but it was not just government schools. But with this rating, MOBA, can we say that we are making progress? I mean, given what we had from the former president, and majority of the people rating the system are the people who are in authority, all right? People who are in certain positions to bring about change in the sector. Take former President Sirleaf, for example. She was president of the Republic of Liberia. Now, the latest rating is coming from someone who presides over the sector, the education minister. And she's rating the system. She's giving the system a rating of 4 to 5 over 10. What does this say about the sector? I mean, are we making progress given the comment from former President Sirleaf, and now coming to where we are, we're getting 4 to 5 over 10? Is it fair to say that we're making progress? Is it something we can be proud of? Is there a serious problem we need to address? I mean, what does it even say about the future of the young children who are going to school in Liberia? Let's have a conversation from here. Rudolph, I want to welcome you to the show. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you.
Let's start with you, Charles, and we're gonna go around the table.
Yeah, Nelson. This topic is very interesting. For those of all that went to school in Liberia, we know how challenging the system is. We know how tough it is to go to school in Liberia, and we try to blame people, right? But we should take into consideration our own government. Our government is the problem, and we'll continue to say our government is the problem. If they were doing the right things, putting the right mechanism into place, things were going to be straight. Our schools are going to be perfect. I remember when I was in E. General Gurish Memorial High School, we organized a protest that caused today Goodrich have an Agnes. Goodrich have at least a fence around it. Goodrich have a not working lab, but they have a lab. They have other areas and things through our protest, because government people, they don't pay attention to the schools. Our school sector is so fragile in a sense wherein even teachers give students assignment and ask them to take the assignment home and bring the assignment with money. How you expect that person to learn? All that person depend on now is paying money. And so with the education minister rating the education system as 5, maybe 40% or 50%, for me, I would definitely agree with her. But again, who to be blamed?
Okay, so you agree with the rating in the first place, but now Comparing this rating with what former President Sirleaf said, do you think we're making progress? When she said the educational system was a mess, and now the education minister is rating the system, the sector at 4/5, or let's say 4 to 5/10. Are we making progress here?
So here's the thing. We have to understand what the former president mean by mess. In her word mess, she didn't give a particular number. She didn't give a particular rating.
Yeah.
This government, I might take the 40% of this government to be a mess. You might take it to be a mess. Someone else might take it not to be a mess. You know what I mean? So I would say from the past government up to this government, I think we stay dangling and running in the same kind of mess. That's what I would say. And until the government can do the right thing for our educational system, for our health system, for our, and, all of the different sector of our country, if as long as they start to do the right thing, I know we'll get there and we'll make progress. But until then, the system needs serious overhauling. The system needs serious work.
In the midst of these challenges, who do we blame? Okay, let's say we don't want to play the blame game, and all of that. But where exactly does the problem lies? Because you take, for example, the government pays teachers. The government has a lot of teachers they're paying across the country. The education minister even spoke about how they're contemplating on carrying on further training for those for about 2,000 teachers, and then they can pull about 50% of them on payroll since they've been on supplementary payrolls. But part of the problems, and not just coming from the education minister, but I remember that even the former minister of education, there was this educational summit that was held, and actors in the sector came from across the country, these teachers and all of those people. One of the issues have been that, especially in the rural parts of the country, the Ministry of Education, for example, will pay teacher X to teach social studies or to teach mathematics or whatever. Because there is no presence of the Ministry of Education there, maybe the DEOs and CEOs are not monitoring them regularly. Some of these people will not go to class. And that was part of the reason why the Minister of Education said that there were some students in one specific area she went. The students were asking her to please beg their teachers so that they will not give them promotion this year because they learned absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Where does the problem lie? Is it with the teachers, the students, or the educational authorities in the country?
Nothing. The problem is our government. Our teachers are not well paid. That's the first thing. And I don't want us to blame it on this government or on Joria government.
No, but government is continuity. So
fine. So here's the thing, right? During those days, my father days, when you even stop in 6th grade, 6th graders could read perfectly. They could write perfectly. I know the old lady right now. She stopped in 4th grade. But when you hear her speak, doesn't you think she graduated from college? But she was those people that left school since the, 80s or 70s or whatever, 60s, those days. Those people from those time, trust me, their education was solid. But right after the war, government has started to take over our country. The education system became dormant and no attentions. And teachers are not well paid, so they go to the classroom. They don't do the things they're supposed to do, and so the blame is directly on our government. It's not on a particular person, but it's on the government in totality.
Thank you, Rudolph. Sorry, Charles. Let me come to Rudolph. Then I'll come to you next, Moba. Rudolph, in the midst of this, yes, we will always hear about, the teachers are not well paid. They're not being paid on time. What they get cannot keep them up. But do you think these are excuses enough? Those excuses are strong enough to maybe provide a reason? Are those reasons enough for people, especially so individuals who accept to be on government payroll, whether supplementary and whatever it is they're making? Are those reasons enough for those people not living up to what their duties or responsibilities are?
Nelson, to answer your question specifically, but I mean, I think teaching is supposed to be something that people should come in with passion to give out knowledge, with passion to make an impact in the lives of people per se. But then we find ourselves in a country like Liberia where people go to teach only because they want to make a living, an honest living. We see young people fresh out of high school who have tried other means, and maybe some of them have applied to the university, and they cannot not sponsor themselves, so they say, okay, you know what I can do, let me just go and teach. So now teaching is not something that people are doing because they want to do it. They are doing it because there is nothing else to do, and that is the probably easiest way that they can be employed, even if they cannot get their monthly salary on time. They still have a means of making money. Like my brother Charles said, they can give an assignment, make it very high, until until their students come. Bring it back and bring money with it, right? So that has been an issue for a very long time now, Nelson. I went to high school back home, so you see young men, young women who the only reason they are teaching is because they want to sponsor themselves through school or through university or stuff like that. They don't come in with the passion anymore. And I think so. We will point fingers back at the government because there is no standard.
Is the government responsible to bring about the passion? If passion is something to go for, then I think it comes from the individuals themselves.
Yeah. So Nelson, what I am saying is this, right? When you are not passionate about something, right? So let's say you are only teaching because you want to make an honest living, and then but if the process to enter the classroom to teach is a very not tedious, but it's a very very tough and strict process where you have to go through trainings, you have to take tests, you have to be tested almost every year to make sure that you are on top of what you are teaching. Guess what? People who are not passionate will drop. So when we are pointing fingers at the government, these are things that we are looking at. Are they training teachers? Are there programs? Maybe I would say teachers exchange programs. Where you send your teachers to go and have outside exposure or experience and come back in the classroom. Are those things happening? No. And then we go back to the statement about mess and not mess. First of all, we have. I would like to know with what yardstick is this system being measured? Are they measuring the quality that are in the school now? Are they measuring it by the passing rate?
She was specific on that. And she said it depends on what you're looking for. So if you are looking at in terms, okay, so that rating she gave, Vasco, welcome to the show. That rating she gave to the system was basically considering the quality. Okay, yeah. So that's what she said. The quality of graduates that the system is putting out.
How are those quality?
The level of performance of those graduates that the system is putting out. That was the basis of her rating when she said she will rate the system a 4 to 5 over 10.
But Nelson, here is the question then. If that is the yardstick she is using to measure, here is the question. How are those quality being assessed when there are no jobs? So how is she measuring them? Because the thing is, she could be measuring the system by maybe after college and everything. What is their performances on their job? What are they like? What
but
is their
really,
level
only
of
thing you can measure, you can assess those qualities based on what. Let's take for example reading comprehension, the way people write nowadays, nothing is in heading. Read up just from your constant read up on your social media handle. Somebody can evaluate you and say, yeah, they're making red or they're making red. You know? So I mean, don't you think these are other areas that people can be assessed from as well?
Nelson, yes, and this is a whole. I mean, we could come here and just talk for hours on this particular thing that I'm about to say. You know, Nelson, there is a difference between education and academics. What we have most of us in Africa is just academics and not education. You know, we have. I feel like we are producing people to go to work and not people to create work, right? So when you are producing people to be employees, then you have to create an environment where after they have graduated, they will begin for the employer. Then you can assess their ability. Nelson, not everybody can speak good English, right? Somebody can come here and I mean they may be the worst speaker. But are you going to tell me that man is not educated within his field? Because there is one thing that this whole thing about curriculum does to an individual. Because it was created by human, it has a human agenda, right? So when you go to school and let's say you come out with a degree and you are a chemist, Nelson, we will not assess your education based on how you speak, based on maybe how you write. We will have to take you to where you were trained to be, and then there we can assess if you are educated or not.
Thank you.
I mean, I would just stop here for now, but this is something that I mean we could have a whole conversation around. Thank you.
Now, and this is very important. Boba, let me come to you, and then we'll go to Vasco next. This situation. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf said it was a mess. About a decade after she made that comment, the education minister is rating the system at 4 to 5 over 10. Post-war Liberia has seen 3 democratically elected government being elected, or 3 democratic transitions, and let me put it that way. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, former President George Weah, and now President Boakai. And that assessment or rating of the state of the sector was done under the first president in post-war Liberia. Given all that we've seen over the years, have we been making progress enough? Is it fair to say that the previous administrations, especially starting from former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, did those people really prioritize the sector enough to get it the best, or at least improved or much better than what it was from the very start? If we are talking about the system being messy now, where the education minister is saying, oh, it's spoiled to the point where we struggle to even get 50% rating, where do we look? Should we say former President Sirleaf did not do well? She just criticized the system and she didn't do well? Should we say former President George Weah did not do well? And maybe someone may want to drag this administration into it.
Thank you, Nelson. You know, I will go, my brother Rudolph. You see, China, Japan, they don't speak English, but they got the best technology in the world. You understand? So I understand the education and the minister. She doing her job and what she's doing, and I will commend her for it by going from school to school. But you can just grade the sector like that. Actually, look, nursing, the world we're living in today is different. I was just making a research in Nigeria. A woman was giving her testimony. Her apple was very poor, but she was a doctor. She was a doctor, and people bullied her, including the pastor bullied her, And any other day when she pull her document out, the pastor got to go publicly and apologize. And any other day he will make shame. So like the education sector come in different form. Because yeah, you see what she went when she went to the when she went in the classroom, the way the teacher was pronouncing the words, like the vocabulary, the way she was reading. I mean,
Yeah.
the
Some
teacher
teachers have
was reading and stuff. But
pronunciations.
next thing, everybody get their
Yes.
call, right? We understand that. Look, the only thing I would tell the government to do, I can lie to you, Nelson. Let the government, what the government want to enforce the education sector in Liberia, if they want to invest more money in the education sector, let it carry on like vocational school, technology. It's not everybody not everybody will go and learn correct English. Not everybody can speak properly.
Yeah,
Some people,
we understand that
they are
aspect. But
technician by the hand.
Mama, what do you think about this as well? If a teacher who teaches language art, let's say the teacher teaches English, vocabulary, and all those kinds of language art stuff, and then the teacher's pronunciation is poor. The teacher doesn't spell well. Doesn't that ring bell? Shouldn't that be of concern? Especially to someone who is the education minister. We understand everybody can speak.
Yeah,
no,
I think for the
whether
teachers,
you
right,
like it or not,
yeah.
I don't care how you improve education, Benin, everybody will not speak BB book and be able to speak it the way it's supposed to be.
Next thing, I agree when it comes to the
welcome to the show.
Right? Next thing, I agree when it comes to the teachers, right? The teachers, all the teachers need to be well schooled. Like they get seminar, they attend on a daily basis, like maybe after 6 months. In America, I think they put you after 3 or 4 months, or after 6 months, you go for seminar, you renew your lesson. So based on that, I think for the teachers, it will be better. But for the student who probably they go there and they not take it to be like anything, they can go to the vocational center side where they will go and learn trade and will be productive in the country. Look at China. Chinese don't speak English.
Yeah, but Chinese Chinese don't speak English because they're not an English.
Yeah, but
I'm
trying to make that example because people basing the whole thing on English on students, right? That will be English on students. But for the teachers, I will agree with you because you go and teach. You go and teach people. They got to learn from you. So any mistake you make, that person will learn it. Tomorrow when they go in, when you say cat, you spell it different way the person go. If they study to make their own research, the day they will come out and say cat, that the way my teacher spell it. So I believe that, I think for the teacher aspect, the teachers, the teacher need to get what we call a workshop every 6 months. For every school, I think the Minister of Education so come up with an identical agenda. Every 6 months, they had a seminar that teachers will go there and teach their brain. End of the day, they will be able to come up and be help in every sector because look, it's not everybody, it's not all students will learn.
Before Vasco comes, can I use 10 seconds, please? You
but have you learned your thoughts?
Let me conclude. So my main point here is for what you just said, I respect it. All teachers need to be well schooled and need to know what they're teaching the students. Go by the rules and regulations of every education book. I mean, like I say in the country, we agree that to go by the curriculum, like what they say this, that, let it go by it. But end of the day, it left with the students. It left with the students who will, take it in or not. It doesn't mean that our student they not, expecting other stuff.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
But again, I'm gonna commend the Minister of Education by even taking her time, not sitting in the office, going out. I'm gonna commend her.
But what do you make of the rating? You think the rating is fair? 4 to 5 over 100 over 10.
Next thing, the rating is not bad and will get better. As long as she's there and she go out, because look, let me conclude by saying the best thing anybody can do if you're working is not to sit behind the desk and then talk, go behind computer and type. No, go on the field, go see what the people are doing, and then you will get it. You'll get all the errors, and then you come back and settle this problem.
Thank you. I want to bring more about India, but take 10 seconds quickly.
You know, Nelson, you made a very good point when you talk about somebody who is teaching English, vocabulary, and stuff like that. So, and moreover, I would disagree a little bit with you when you say that you think all of the teachers should be able to speak fluently and write fluently. I would disagree. Because here is it, Nelson, and to your point, when you are teaching English, vocabulary and stuff, then your level of education should be assessed in that department because that is where you are schooled for, right? Well, take an example. I mean, I did not go to school to study English and whatever. I have a degree in finance, right? So if you want to assess my level of education, give me statements.
No, I'm discussing about the teachers.
No, I come in mobile. Give me financial statement to analyze. So me being able to understand my subject and verb agreement and stuff like that, those are add-ons.
But even as a financial expert, no, Rudolph. Even as a financial expert, are you saying here that financial experts should not be in a position where they can speak standard English? I mean, articulate well. Because if you can, in order to communicate, in order to effectively communicate what you've learned, at the end of the day, everything is about communication, regardless of whichever discipline, career, or whatever it is. Communication is very key. So in order to effectively communicate, you have to be able to express that through maybe your language, whether it's English or whatever, so
and Nelson, that's a good point you just made. And I will go a step further, Nelson. Let's be clear here. But I mean, when Liberia was in the early stage, that thing when they say, "Oh, we are an English-speaking country," that's not true, Nelson. The reason we are having problem is this, right? We are trying to we are trying to measure our level of education based on the white man's language. Nelson, we are in the US here, right? A white person does not expect me to be fluent in English. No. That is a pressure that we put on ourselves in Africa. When you will see a Chinese man working in these big companies here, guess what? He doesn't even speak English. But what he is trained to do is what he does.
Okay.
And he is
Thank you,
paid
Rudolph.
for that.
Thank you, Rudolph. Rudolph, thank you. Let's hear from Vasco, and then we're going to take to Ray. Vasco, go ahead.
Thank you, Rudolph. Thank you, Nelson. All right, so man, let me say hi to everybody and hi to those in Radio Land and those that are watching us by the means of Facebook and YouTube. So Nelson, I mean, look, like I said the last time, we will face serious problem. And trust me, this education minister, as I learned, she been on the Liberia for the rest of her life. And now, President Walker brought her to a very strange environment that she don't know nothing about.
She don't know anything about? You think so?
She don't know anything about education system how it runs. They don't live a whole life here. They were through Dillon and they took her to Liberia. But first thing, said.
Anyway, Mama take over. I'll be back.
Okay, Nancy. Go ahead, Vasco. Go ahead.
But I was through Dillon sister-in-law, so how they give her a job.
But man, we're discussing education system.
Yeah, but listen,
you got to emphasize on all of them.
What she said, that she created a system from 1 to 10, she said 5. That means there is prospect. Because we made it in mess and we took it to that level. So there is prospect. But some of the things that she said when she went at the Senate, trying to look at somebody speaking, that's why I say she's very strange. Because, like for where I'm from, Lofa County, Lofian are very smart people. They got Lofian's master degree, doctor degree. but the pronunciation is very bad. They struggle to pronounce the every word that beginning with L, and all of some words that beginning with R. They will turn it upside down.
Yeah, and Vasco, I know about the famous saying where they say the thing is say we take the low to the low, we take the road the low to the road. They say take the low to the low, but you know, and I know that's where you're coming from, Vasco.
Rofa instead of lofa.
Yeah, rofa and lofa and all that.
Let me bring it back, Nelson. You had some people want to show you the medical doctor. I think had somebody from Lufa County. You heard them speaking, right? You listen to them speaking.
No, Vasco, I ain't going there. I ain't going there.
Those people, they are very
smart. You alone.
Most of the top doctors you have in the country, they are Lufian. But when you hear them speaking, you want to take something for them, but you can't. So on that aspect, I mean, she shouldn't think about that. And that's it. One of the problems that Bureau face, I know where she went in the rural part of the country, and then where she experienced something like that. And the problem we have in Liberia, we don't pay the teacher good money to go out there to teach. So most people want to stay in the city to teach. So you find people that are teaching, most of the people that are teaching in the rural area that are like TA, you know, teacher assistant, some of them didn't really go through the proper channel. They are there voluntarily, that's all, to help. So now the entire situation comes on the government.
So
the situation now comes on the government. So what I expect the minister to be doing, since she have already made a tour around, to know the situation, she should start to talk to the lawmakers so that they can get the education sector something good in their budget. So she can be able to get qualified teachers, good teachers, instead of the government having teacher aides in the various counties. We can have good teachers going to the counties to be able to impact life. And if you send a teacher in the various county, you first of all you gotta find a lodging for them. You gotta give them almost everything.
So Vasco, yeah, what's your position on this conversation? That's what I want to establish. Then we can we can move forward.
On the 5 to 10.
Yeah. On this this conversation with respect to the sector, the educational sector.
Yeah, that's it. Like I said, when we came, maybe you was here around.
When you say when we. Who are the we you talking about?
I speak about the CDC administration.
No, but Vasco, why are you always about we and they? And you know the CDC.
That is my government. That is the government I support. So when we came, we made the sector in a mess, according to the president, the former president, by Eddie Josie Salif. She said the education sector was a mess. So now we having a new education minister coming, grading between a scale from 1 to 10. She grading us 5.
4 to 5, yeah.
Yeah, 4 to 5. So which means there is progress.
So it means that your CDC made progress. Let me talk in your tone.
Yeah,
your
CDC government made progress when it comes to education. So it is up to them to take it from 5 to 10. So we look forward to see if they will take it from 5 to 10. That's what we're looking up.
That's it. Let me say something real quick.
Thank you. Ture, we want to bring Ture in, but take a few seconds quickly.
Yeah. Bring Ture in. Guys, please. The issue about education system, we shouldn't beautify it. Let us be honest to our conscience. Let us be honest to our country. Liberia education system is shaking, is racking. It needs serious overhauling. And to the point Vasco made that the lady spent all of her life outside Liberia and went to school. Vasco, you don't think that's the right person we need who have outside exposure, who went to a solid school, who understand the system, has system where had things should be put in place Those are the kind of people that we need in our education system to set standard, and precedents that other generation will live on and go. Remember, hold on, Vasco. Remember,
not a professional woman.
Vasco, remember, during the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, our people that went to school during those days that stopped in third grade can read more than 12 grade students today. Can even speak more than 12 grade students today. So some of these issues is not just about the teacher. I understand the teacher part of it, but we should look at there are other factors.
Thank you.
Other factors around this thing. Even the drugs issue, there are factors too that is causing serious problems to our educational system.
Thank you. Thank you, Charles.
That woman will be the worst. That woman will be the worst.
Ture, let's hear from Ture. Ture, go ahead. Your thoughts on this issue.
Yeah, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. In the United States and around the world, and to our great panelists, man, good evening to you guys. Vasco, before I even get into this thing, brother, you're not forced to address every topic that is brought up here. You know what I mean? Sometimes just say, you know what, I pass on this. Because everything you just talk about here, brother, it have nothing to do with what we're discussing here. You see, in life, when you want to give something, to somebody, give it to someone who have studied that field, who have done it to an unprecedented level. And one thing I know for a fact, this our educational minister. There is nothing you can say about her that does not amount to her qualification of who she is. She's a system builder. And if you want to argue that, Vasco, you want to politicize that, then obviously you and I are not going to do that argument here tonight. And I don't think any of the panelists even have any interest to go down there with you. But let me say that, Nelson, a wise man or woman once said that if you want to find a concrete solution or a solution to a problem, you have to naked the problem. When I say naked, I mean literally. You have to go deep and criticize it. And I think that's what this lady is doing. I mean, it is bad. Nobody needs to tell you that the educational system is bad. Nobody needs to tell you that. We all visit the country. We all mingle with the kids. And we know exactly what it is. Their output is bad. And it's even bad enough when children are visiting school by the minister, by the minister, when children are telling you, please tell our teacher to not pass us. I mean, that I don't know if it can get any lower than that. So that's where we are, Vasco. This is not politics. This is real life, bro. That's what we're talking about. We can make them. There are certain sectors that we cannot politicize. All right? We cannot politicize security. We cannot politicize education. We cannot politicize healthcare. All right? Because that right there affects every one of us. You don't have to be a seditious to know that the educational system is rotting. You don't have to be a unity partisan to know that. That is something that is affecting every one of us. Okay, so I absolutely, I'm baffled and that Vasco can come here to try to sabotage this lady and try to turn into something that she's not. Come on, bro. That is below the belt. All right. But let me say this. This problem here, I heard, look, you can't blame this on the teachers. You can't blame this on the student. You blame this on the government. All right? You blame this on the government. I've said this and I'll continue to say it. Number one, Liberia, we don't have abundance of resources. The limited resources that we have, we don't allocate them to areas that will serve us in the future. All right? Every other country, they look at key life-saving areas, sustainable development areas that will enhance the generation after this generation. That is education. That is education. If you cannot get your educational system right, if you cannot invest resources to meet the demand of this challenging, evolving world, then you always be a beggar to other countries. And that's what we are seeing. Now we're talking about buses coming from Ghana. Ghana now supplying Labro buses. Oh, Lord, have mercy on me. By the end of the day, you see Ghana, they have implemented a system. They are not perfect, but they have consistently done that for a period of 20, 25 years. They have succession of president with absolute no chaos. Anybody that loses election, they accept the results and go sit on one place. That's development in itself down there. But we have not done that in Liberia. Ellen Jones can come and criticize the educational system. Oh, Madam President, thank you very much for rating the education as bad as it is. But Madam President, did you not also encourage George Manning to become president, knowing that you are coming to actually undo all of the job that you did for 12 years? Come on, man. I mean, how can you build a system for 12 years? Then you go ahead, you handpick somebody like Joe Weah to become president. They're undoing everything that you have done for 12 years. You know what I'm saying? So look, at the end of the day, we are our own problem. When somebody say, what's your problem? Point to yourself, say us. We are our problem. All right? Until we can come back as Liberians and come to our senses and know that we have not done anything to enhance anything in our country, then we should not complain about all the students. Who motivate the teachers? If you pay the teachers a living wage, I'm not even talking about minimum wage. Just give them living wage. But they can't even get living wage. I'm not talking about minimum wage. Just give them living wage. And Rudolph, I totally agree with you. Education should be about passion. There are a lot of our teachers that taught us in school. Some of them, they did not look at the money. They were in it based on a shared passion. You know what I mean? Like giving out knowledge. They didn't want millions. Some of our teachers that taught us English and chemistry and stuff like that, they were more interested in coming in the classroom and then from there they go on their phone. All right? That's all they had. But today, if you don't give in, if you don't show people that you support them, then obviously when it should be left to supporting themselves, then don't be surprised the product that is being produced. All right? So the government don't have interest, and the teachers are going to go there and circumvent the will to try to do something out of, you know, I mean, it's unprecedented, and it's what it is. So, man.
Yeah, Rufo, 30 seconds.
Yes, Morba. You know, I mean, I am going to play the devil's advocate tonight, right? You know, we can all beat on Vasco for trying to play politics with this thing, but let me say, the statement or the rating itself from the current Minister of Education, I think that was political too. I mean, you may not agree with me if you want to, and that is fine. No. But I think that was political because here is it. And also, I also still believe that the statement about Madame Salif was reckless, just as this one is, because you have been entrusted with a system. Why? I mean, why you come and tell that it's a mess? I mean, are you trying to like score points? You have been appointed to work and fix it. You should be the last person to come up and tell us it's a mess. Because what she was trying to do right there was to tell us that, I mean, CDC did not do much. In short, right? And that's something that we all know, right? But when you are in government, you have, I mean, I don't care who passes over to you. It is your problem. We don't care. Like, what is that doing for us? I will rate this thing 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 10. I feel like it's not important. Maybe if we can, if some kind of NGO could do their own assessment and bring out the rating, for me, I would see it more important than a certain minister. Because the thing is, you are the one who can fix this problem, right? I mean, what are you doing to fix it? Are you training teachers? No, you are not doing it. But you coming to tell us it's a mess. I mean, what do we have to do with such people?
Thank you, Rudolph.
Thank you.
Vasco, 30 seconds, Vasco. We gotta transition to the next topic.
Well, shadow me. Yeah, like I said, no, we on a big platform, so when I sit and allow somebody to come with certain story that is not factual, we gotta checkmate them. Today, I know that this is the belief that you guys been going around with. Manasali never handpicked President Weah. Ego, we went to an election. The Liberian people stood on the line.
So
and
I
they
want you wear a dress?
Yes, I can't let somebody come and say something that is not factual here. Let me frank.
I mean,
Everybody know
30
what I
seconds,
see.
almost
Everybody
finished.
know.
Go to the
Everybody
point
know.
where we got a transition.
Yeah, but yo, hold on. The man said something on the radio. The people listening to him got to fast check. People, when they say election, people go exercise their right to vote. Now, jungle justice, something what somebody just tell you to go say you in the chair. But I said he didn't do that one. The people stood in the line. They voted for Georgia 14 counties, all of 15. And Georgia won the election. So you stop that fallacy.
Thank you.
Like Manasari handpicked George Weah and made our president. For what?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Ture, I see your hand up. You want to take a few seconds?
Yeah, please. Look, at the end of the day, Rudolph, come on, man. Come on, Rudy. Look, let me tell you this. We saw the educational minister touring the county, like from county to county, right? So you tell me, when she's asked, how do you rate the educational system? And you have problem with that? Of course, before I solve problem, I should know exactly what I'm working with. What do I have? All right? I should know what exactly, I should know I should know the anonymity of the problems. Okay? Look, that's not politics, bro. Like I said, there are certain areas that it has to be void of politics. Education, healthcare, security. Those three agencies should be void of politics because it affects everybody, right? You don't have to be a UP partisan or sedition to know that if the security sector is depleted, it's going to affect you. Likewise, healthcare and education. So I don't think she was trying to play politics. She just wanted to know exactly where she at and whatever policy she's going to do to enhance whatever it is that I think that's what it is. So I don't have
issue with the assessment, right?
No.
It was prudent enough for her to have done the assessment to work with her result. But coming out in the public to counter us
she get it right. No, she working.
Yes.
She working for the Liberian people.
The president said it. So
she working for the Liberian people. You get it right.
My brother, right? My brother, what is it that we can speak of? It's truth that yes, the system is a mess. It's truth. She's not lying. She went around. She did her own analysis. She did her own assessment. She went through these things. In fact, she went to classroom. She see the system. And knowing the fact that Vasco said she spent all of her life outside, knowing the kind of outside exposure she gets, how classroom should be, who should be in the classroom, how the system should be structured. And she went there, she not seen it. Definitely, my man. If even you right now they make you a police director now, will you go to the country there and say the system is okay?
No, I will do my assessment and whatever report whatever finding I get, I'm gonna work with it. I ain't coming to
but she has
She need to know.
Let me tell you this.
I will work with what I have found.
Where did that lady acquire education?
She need to know where she's
education. And one thing I know about American educated personnel
is quite unfortunate that you guys are not ready to get
thing I know about people.
I'm not.
Guys, let's do this. Let's do this. Guys, we have to do this.
One thing I know,
and that is
she was right to read the system.
Look, the lady,
because she know where she's starting from.
Rudolph, even you're a financier, right? If they say right now to any bank or to any institution, right, and you do your assessment, bro, if you have the opportunity to critique it, you will.
Thank you. Thank you, Trey.
Where you met it.
Thank you.
Where you leaving it. Come on.
Thank you, Trey.
As a professional, you will never come
That's
out.
not politics.
No professional do what a woman did.
Okay, so thanks, guys. We have to make our transition now to go to the phone lines. We have to transition and go to the phone lines. But just before doing that, and Vasco, I know you want to talk about your video, the president's trip to the president's trip. Come again?
You can't keep skipping our video.
But Vasco, what's about this video? I mean, maybe you can share it with me again.
Nelson,
Maybe you can share
ask
the
you a
video
quick
with me
question,
again.
Nelson? Can I ask you a quick question? Maybe
Yeah,
this is
go ahead.
why I am saying. I mean, this is why I am sounding the way I am sounding. So I mean, I did not listen to the report or the rating or whatever, but I just read.
We're not going back to the thing.
Was she actually asked by the house to rate, or it was just a report?
Nobody asked her to rate.
No. She was asked. She was asked by one of the senators. How will you rate? How will you rate the educational sector?
Who asked her, or reporter, or
No, we're not the senators.
Reporter asked her or representative asked her.
With that information that I just got, I mean, I will change my, or I will take my statement back. But
no. You've been telling me to take your statement back. You've been finding me to take this statement back.
Nelson. My thing is, if she called a press conference to make such statement, I'm against it. And I think it's reckless.
No
but if she
professional
was
president,
asked by the senators, and she gave that, I mean, fine.
No professional president just come up willingly to go make that kind of a lounge statement, right? Any professional president, either you
will be surprised.
No. Either you are asked to rate it, but you're not just gonna come up. Oh, the education.
So I know you agree it was not politicized, right?
It's not politicized.
That's what I said, right? Because she was asked by or about it, like the
House of Representatives.
That's cool.
The Senate. That was the Senate.
But
we have to transition.
That is my point.
Thank you, Rudolph. Thank you. We have to transition now. Well, we are 5 months into this administration. The 22nd of June made this administration 5 months. We have seen a lot happening. A lot of good things have happened in 5 months. Some not too good. And some we can look at them and keep criticizing and making our own evaluations of the decisions that have been made. But today we are at a point where we've seen some of those who campaigned for this administration taken aback. The likes of Martin Colley, for example, took aback. Even after he was appointed to serve on the asset recovery team, he resigned. But not just resigning, he's coming back to say that this administration has failed the Liberian people. Well, he made an appearance today on the local radio station where he said that this administration has failed the Liberian people when it comes to areas like the health sector, that the health sector now is seriously challenged, even more than yesterday under this administration. When it comes to agriculture, he said the government has failed as well, and that the promises that this administration made to the Liberian people are not being prioritized by the president. He was keen on health, education, and agriculture. He said the promises that were made during the 2023 elections, this government is not living up to those promises. But yes, and I know we may come back and say, oh, yes, the man was one of those who campaigned for this administration. He campaigned for the election of this government. But are these comments, especially in the 5th month of the administration,
not 5th month,
is it fair
6 months. No, 5th.
You want 1 year.
Okay,
Okay,
6
give you
months.
1
So
year.
yes,
Give you
let's
1
say
year,
6
Vasco.
months. Let's take 6 months. But what I know is that from the 22nd of January to February to March to April to May to June 22nd made this administration 5 months. And till we reach the 22nd of July, it's still 5 months. The 22nd of July is going to make it 6 months. But since you want to take it by month, yeah, let's take 6 months. Let's agree with you, Vasco.
We'll gain 1 year.
Is it fair to rate this government as an administration that has failed, a failed administration in 5 months? We're talking about health. He went on to talk about education and agriculture. Well, we know that this administration came in with the arrest agenda, and agriculture is one of those captured under the arrest agenda. Is it fair for anybody? Now, not just Martin, because I know that this time around it's coming from Martin. And the reason why, it is concerning is because he was one of those at the front line and all of that, propagating the message of this government. But is it fair to say that this government has failed when the government has 5 years and we're just 6 years and we're just 5 months into the administration? In the midst of all the shortcomings that have been outlined, are there hopes for a better Liberia? Are there signs that things are going to improve? Is it fair for anybody to rate this government as a failure in 5 months? Yes, DJ Do. Are we having old wines in new bottles? Or is Liberia set to experience a change? I mean, let's take 1 minute each on this, because we'll go to the phone lines and talk to our people. Let's take 1 minute each on this. Let's start with you, Charles, and then we're gonna go to Ray, Rudolph, Morba, and Vasco.
Let Vasco go out, be the last.
Let me say this. We all know Mountain Collie, a very sound young man that struggled for this rescue mission. For me, I have a very different view when it comes to his issues that he's raising at this time. We need to be straight when it comes to certain things. I think politicians in Liberia have this kind of mentality that if you are part of this team and you want certain things to go your way, and if it doesn't, you try to come back and lash at that organization or that institution. I am not saying that's Martin's stand, but again, we've been seeing these things happening around here. And my honest judgment when it comes to whatever he said on the media, I think it is too soon for that. I think it's too soon for that. And again, we on the outside, we don't know the plans that government had in place. We don't know some of those things that the government trying to put in place when it comes to agriculture, when it comes to the health sector, when it comes to the school. Look, every government that took power in this country since the war, there's problem in the first 5-6 months. There's always been a problem. Always. What are the health situation? What are the education? What are the security? There's always been a problem. And in the midst of these problems, government will be working behind the scene. Martin Colley is not with the rescue mission anymore. He's on the outside. And so what he's saying now is based on what he think or know and seeing what is going on in the country with people coming up with little protests and other people complaining about this sector.
Health workers talking about nationwide protests and all of that.
Yeah, and all of these things. It always been It always. And so for me, I respect his opinion anyway, but I want to default with him with the timetable, the issue about trying to put the blame on this government for this 6 month period, that the things that they promised the country, agriculture and this and that. I personally, I think he's still in his with his judgment, and I believe there are plans. I believe there are plans. The government, trust me, the government go wrong, we will definitely lash them. But again, we just have to be honest to our people and honest to our conscience. I think I want to believe too. Martin Colley has his own agenda. Yeah, I want to believe Martin Colley has his own agenda.
What do you think that agenda will be?
It will be best known to himself, but it can be political, it can be popularity. It's all about what he as a person think, and I just feel that he have an agenda. Yeah.
Thank you. Let's hear from you on this one, Rudolph, and then we can take Vasco, Toure, and
Nelson, I would have loved to pass on this, but no, it's okay. I will be very quick.
Okay.
Nelson, not Nelson, but Monty is a good brother. I mean, I think most of his advocacies are very honest, and they are very issue driven. And I think he is passionate about Liberia. So I think that is what informed his perspective on these things. But I mean, I would be the last person to come on here and say that everything is rosy. JMB is doing fantastic. That I mean, the healthcare system has seen boost the education system, the agriculture. I mean, I will be doing a disservice to myself first before anybody else. But to go that far and say that they have failed, I think that was a bit testy for me. Yes. I think it's too soon, like my brother Charles said, and I think Martin, some months ago on this show, I spoke about personal expectations. Yeah, people supported this regime, and they had their own expectations. I mean, which is good, because I mean, politics is interest. So once your interests are aligned and you are expecting some things, but then you don't do it to the extent that you overdo it, right? Or you don't expect to the extent that you overly expect. And I think that is what's happening right now. So I think this government, we are seeing signs that it will succeed, and we should just be a bit more patient instead of using the word failed. That's what I would say. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's hear from you, Vasco, and then we can take Toure.
So, I mean, Monty was absolutely right. Like I see people trying to say Monty have his own agenda. Monty was appointed on the asset recovery team to be part and parcel of the system. But Monty didn't even do a job, nothing. And they wanted to pay him, give him money. And Monty refused the money. So if Monty wanted to stay in there and be getting a free money and looking at the country suffering, but for him to refuse it and come now, trying to expose, don't forget, Martin and there were people that used to take the telephone and speak with the president. They discuss issues, how the country will be run, what the president will do. These are assurance the president gave Martin. Not just Martin, they got other people that the president gave assurance So they said, we're going to do this in our first month. We're going to audit the past government. We're going to do this one. Now they are there. And see, Liberian people still saying it's too soon. My brother, anything that was spoiled, it was spoiled from the beginning. If you don't fix it from the beginning, it will just continue to be rotting going.
But Vasco, do you think it's fair for anyone to rate this government as a failed government in just 5 months of this administration?
Yeah, but first of all, we should know.
Remember, it's 6 years we're talking about.
6 years. We should know the context in which Mountain was speaking from. The government been there for 6 months. Within the 6 months, the government failed in the 6 months. Look, every government, your first priority is the people, the citizen. Like I was saying here, it's the citizen. The first thing you need to do as a government, start to address the needs of the people. Since the government came to power, my people, what are our people benefiting? The suffering has increased in the country. Thing prices are going up. Everything. And what we're seeing, what the government is doing, what are they doing to address some of the situation? Nothing. All we hearing, people fighting on the other side. Today, the Labor Ministry was fighting. Tomorrow, Eugene Vagon on the other side fighting. There is no policy to say, okay, you know what? Our people also will know this country. One of the main issues our people have is their stable food. What are we doing to address the rest price? When the government came, they took the rest price up. I know, although they said it is the price is down up, but people who live in Liberia, especially who got a family, we know how much we're paying for rice in Liberia. So what next is speak? Look, you need to speak the fact. Today, the president came. The draft budget came out. The president had it $24 million. Everybody was clapping for the president reducing his budget. But the one that he signed on now, the one that already into law, his budget is increased to $3 million. Jeremiah Kuhn budget increased.
Thank you.
The senator and the representative budget increased. But the civil servant that were beating the past administration for about harmonization. You just heard the minister talking in the clip, the information minister, about cutting civil servant salary. There is nothing in there for them, no increment.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what you expect the government fail?
Nelson, let me just take 5 seconds, please. 5 seconds.
Take 5 seconds.
Are we leaving? I'm about to leave. Let me just say 5. Let me just take 5 seconds, please. Again, my brother Vasco said something that is really interesting. So interesting. He said, when the government will do something, when the government will fail, we'll start failing from the beginning, right? I see the reason why we have failed this country. Because in 6 months period, he was breaking down and building. So that process, that what led to his failure. I accept that. The next thing, Nelson, again, like I said, Martin Colley is
you won't go back.
In rush. So I will beg to leave you guys.
Thank you.
I hope to see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Charles. Toure, let's hear you, sir.
That's it. Let me close now. The marriage.
Yeah, so look, Nancy.
Yeah, you're close. You have your closing.
At the end of the day, I think this is something partly agree with what Vasco was saying. Strange for me to agree with anything Vasco said, but yeah. So we have to look at the full context. I did not listen to, or at least I'm not privileged to have had, the full transcript of Martin's appearance on our radio to actually see exactly where he was speaking to. Because to fully understand the context, you must first understand the text. But let me tell you this. My disappointment of the administration obviously can definitely, resonate to something or me of a frustration that was expressed by Martin. There are certain expectations that each and every one of us have for this government. And my expectation might not be as same as Rudolph or that of Moba, right? And there were certain things or signs that we're looking for from the get-go, right? Maybe Martin might have felt that these areas that I'm gonna actually be focusing on, if I don't see certain drastic changes happening in those areas, I'm out. You know what I mean? That's how some people are. And you cannot fault people for how they react to things, right? I personally, maybe some people have expectation for 6 months. Others might have it for a year. Some people have it for 2 years. Like for me, it's 2 years. But other people might have it for 6 months. Like if I don't see certain actions or at least impact actions happening, I'm out. And you cannot fault people for that. Look, let me tell you this. This administration, with everything that we know, with everything that we campaign for, I thought that they had everything checked as to what they would do from day one. From day one. Because number one, you had a president who was vice president for 12 years. You have a president who been in the political circle of Liberia for half of his life. And he told us throughout the campaigning processes that he knows how to solve Liberia problem. That he got the keys to unlock Liberia's potential. Well, Mr. President, all we are seeing right now is lack of basic coordination. Coordination. That's something that you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. And we're seeing that happening right. Some of these things didn't even happen under President George Menen. I'm sorry. I'm a realist. I say it, I see it like I talk it. That's the reason why some of us, we are not here seeking for opportunity. We'll get opportunity that's due to us. I'm not going to be here to sugarcoat something for me to get opportunity in government. I will see it and I'll talk it just the way I see it. This is something that is happening that we did not expect from this administration. They told us that they had experience. They told us that Joe, we are failures, President, we are failures. They told us that they will get the, and look, we can talk about this. People talk about when you're going to use the train, when you're going to use the train as a rescue train, anybody that know about train, you know very well that once you notice a crack on a rail track, guess what? You don't have to wait 3 months to fix it. You have to fix that immediately. Other than that, the accident is about to happen. So people that are coming out right now to criticize this administration, they are probably seeing a crack on a train track. So they have to flag it out so it can be fixed before the train derail. So I don't have any problem with Martin coming out. At least Martin have shown that he's very consistent in his advocacy. He's not going to be blinded by the way a lot of us are, or at least sometimes we can be like Vasco there, that even if they support any or if anything that is wrong by their support for certain things, that they cannot muster the courage to come and criticize it, that is not an advocate. Or advocate, you should have the courage to criticize things that you supported. That does not make you a hypocrite. That makes you a patriot. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ture. Let's take Moba finally. Moba, go ahead.
Thank you, Nancy. Martin Colley is a very brilliant guy, very smart. Like he fought for the identical government, to counter power. Like that. It is his right to back up because probably he's seeing certain things, but I would not agree with him and Vasco saying that the government failed because according to my research, government take 1 to 4 years to progress. 1 to 4 years, not 6 months.
Which are the research?
My man, I can come here and talk. Go make your research, my man. Every listing,
every government. Research, you are a journalist. Go make your own research.
You mind?
Listen. Go ahead.
According to my research, right? If a government coming into power, maybe they make a proposal or maybe they make saying that, okay, you know what? When we come, things will be better, things will be this. But the actual range for every government that's seeking success, for every country that they govern, is from 1 to 4 years. If they do nothing, then we can come here like my brother Toure within the duration of the time, which is, he said 2 years. So we can come here, we say 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, then he said the government failed. Like my brother always to emphasize on Lee Kuan Yew. Lee Kuan Yew take 31 years to change Singapore. So you looking at Joseph Baga to take 6 months to face a country that George Manuel Weah sport beyond repair. In 6 months, George Weah 6 months he built condominium for the 8 condominium. Then you want to compare with it, man. We don't even get one.
Vasco horsing for that condominium. Vasco horsing in the wheelbarrow. Vasco, I mean, that's the case, right? You want to do horsing for that condominium.
Vasco are still on the floor.
You know?
And still on the floor.
Yeah, but stop lying now. They're not 47.
It can even be 40.
They're not be 40, 17.
George, we are talking.
It's 47 apartments. 47 apartments.
My man.
Condominiums.
My
so
man. It can even be 3.
Condominiums.
Millions of dollars was spent on for elaborate people money. JMB never took money in 6 months to build houses. JMB never took money in 6 months to buy maybe car that worth almost millions of dollars. No. JMB is working in line with what he tells the Liberian people. It will not just wake up. I mean, you not just wake up in the middle of the night and say, okay, let it just happen over there. No. It's process. It's time. Let us give it time. No government can succeed in 6 months. I challenge you. Which other government you know that can succeed in 6 months? Show me that government. Even the great United States. In 6 months, no government can succeed in the world. Other government need times. They need to settle. They need to look at what I see a lot of people saying, oh, the people doing the minister doing the instance of ministry. Y'all give that old man 10 and let him run the country. And that will give him 1 year into it, and that will see what happened. And then now we can come on the pulpit and talk.
But Mama, you say every government needs 4 years. But you say we should get the government 1 year.
I said 1 to 4 years. Okay. Every government who come on the mantle of development, who come and will tell the Liberian people say, we will do this, we will do that. You give them from 1 to 4 years to implement their agenda. You can just take 6 more. You can just 4 more. Then end of the day, say the memo force them to do whatsoever you want to do. No, it is wrong. Let us come here and say the truth. Let me tell you, if George Weah were not listening to people like Vasco and come to be president today, because Vasco and fooling, they lie to him. They look at him paying what with the Liberian money. They say, Paku will help you to pay. They see him taking money. Leveraging it, going riding private jet all around the place. You see Carrasco there. But you see, look at Carrasco horse. That one. Look at Carrasco horse. Look at the horse about big. You think that government money? You know what that money come for?
Thank you very much, Moba.
So you don't come here and say Boaga did 6 months. 6 months is short. Let's get Boaga 1 to 4 years, and then we'll come here and say yes.
Nelson, can I step?
When you not perform,
and I see everyone wants to take 30 seconds. If we were to do that, we'll not go to the phone lines. So okay, so let's just do this swiftly. I mean, let's start with you, Toure, Rudolph, and Vasco.
2 years to transform America.
Let me tell you this, Moba, I totally agree. Right, President Obama economic policy did not start to kick in until during the second term of Donald Trump. We understand that. But we're talking about policy that igniting those changes. Like, look, at the end of the day, we're talking about reform, brother. We're talking about reform. Changing the system. We're not talking about it should start yielding immediately. But let's try to see coordination. Everything that let's see coordination, right? We're talking about a yellow machine. There's an issue with how that whole procurement process is about. Nobody's telling us what's going on there. And all of the committee, this administration have said to investigate what is the.
So you're talking about a yellow machine? Why you were embracing?
But brother, wait now, my man. You see, but that's the thing. For me, I'm a realist. I can come back again and say something on that. There are issues there. All right. We're not talking about the president, everything should just start working smoothly. No, that's not what we're talking about, right? But we're talking about igniting new wave or
Thank you.
transformation, right?
Thank you.
That's what we're talking about. And that's not what we are seeing right now, Moba. We're not seeing that. We're seeing a lot of commotion. We're seeing a lot of convolution. That's what we are seeing. And I think it's fair enough for anybody to come and actually critique that. Maybe that will put fire on the administration fee to do the right thing. That's all.
Thank you
I'm
very
not
much.
gonna say
Ture.
fail. I'm not going to say fail.
Let's hold you there. Thank you, Ture. So I think we're going to the phone lines now.
Yeah, let's do it. Will
Yeah,
say
let's
my
phone
closely.
lines.
Let's just do it.
0555101075. Let's take just a few calls.
Hey, Ture, the man now calling the team on the yellow machine floor.
We can take few calls. 0555101075. Let's take our first
You
call.
put my number up or later?
Yeah. I'm gonna put it up. Hello. Let's take this.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Good morning, anyway.
Yeah, morning. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Okay, I want to thank all of the and I'm phoning from Mike B. My name is Aloysius Exiao tonight.
Yeah.
I know the promises that this government the promise of, especially so the president, what he said to us that he was going to elevate the life of civil servant. I'm a classroom teacher. If you just place call or give time for many persons to call, I took my salary for the month of June. Many of us have experienced a serious cut in salary. 33 hours US was subtracted from my US component. We almost 1,600 of my neighbors. The margin is almost close to 8,000. Do you know the economic burden they have on you? Because you plan based on your income. That 8,000 will be something good in my home. Currently, I am in burden with some other persons. So this government is failing gradually. Let's agree to the panel who said that government became failing from their very first 1 month. Some of the things you promised, they don't see these actions. They try to condemn you. So government, you must accept your critics and work on your error. So thank you, gentlemen.
Let's take two more calls from Liberia, then we'll come to you, Ture. 0555101075. 0555101075. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
Yes, I call from Shakino.
You call from where?
My concern has something to do with the minister.
The education minister.
Okay, yeah, education minister. If you start a job as a professional person, I think it's better for you to carry on assessment. But then people are saying that carry on assessment is wrong. Then how will you know the job?
Okay.
Well, you gotta
So you think she was right to carry on assessment, right?
Yes.
It was
Yes.
good she carry on the assessment. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
It's almost for and evaluation. So you gotta monitor. Carry on assessment, then you will know.
Thank you very much. This person, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead quickly. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Moba Iyasu from Abel.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, the lady is 100% right. I'm a class teacher here, and I'm speaking to you after 10 years. The first thing in that road is there's no in-service training for any teacher. So the difference going in interior final or teacher stay 6 or 8 years in the class teach one discipline out of a new book one. The next is there's a full coordination from the Ministry of Education. There's no acceptance from the 3 classes. Let's take an example of balance. So this year the system was a mess. It's a process of group of people called British Liberia. Those guys are coming abroad and teach one lesson for 6 years without teaching any test. The free test every year.
Hello?
I think Nelson is frozen, so to where you can take calls from your end.
Hello, caller.
Yes, I'm here. You can get me?
What's your name and where you calling from? Yeah, I can get you. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, it's Harry here from BA, Ture, and the rest of the panel. Look, my brother, this, once again, it is very harsh to say the government has already failed. I wouldn't say that. But there's a reason why most of us are raising concerns now, right? There's a reason why a lot of folks, including myself, are beginning to distrust the government. There are a couple of core fundamental principles that we're all hoping to see. But Liberia has come from far away. And you know the issue of Liberia, whether Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and up to this point, we have been yearning for leadership all along. Liberia is prime for leadership, but not one. We still got yet to see the kind of leader we're looking for.
Right.
So I was, my expectation was first, I want to see the rule of law. Because the rule of law is the cornerstone, that is the foundation, especially for countries like Liberia.
We don't forget 1 minute.
The rule of law, that's what I want to see first.
Absolutely.
Someone talk about say, hey, 2 months, we need to do this. Those things the government cannot accomplish within 4 months. But we want to see what is striving towards. That's important.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You still got calls.
And other people, at least they got to hope that over the next 1 year or more, we can achieve something.
All right. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution.
You still got some more calls?
Yeah. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Edwin Clark and I call from Minnesota.
Hey, Edwin, what's up, man? Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I'm okay to it. What's up, Mr. How do everyone on the panel tonight?
Minnesota in the building.
On the issue of Martin College, the resignation from the appointment and leaving the estimation that we support.
Right.
Look, yes, sometimes I sit and wonder, I think it's better for me to not go to school, for me to just go to school. Then let me just use the brain I God gave me, the one called common sense, for me to just waste my time with it. But I want to understand this, I want for somebody to make it make sense. Because everything my brother also want to put it aside. But if Martin Colley is telling me everything that, just in a period of 6 months, if in a period of 6 months I can look at him and tell like will be a period in left, then I must be a Harry Potter. My reason. But let us start using politics in everything. That's why the brother on the left side, he said, Martin has a motive. And indeed, he has a motive. Everybody in Liberia wants to score some point. It's complete absolute nonsense. And these are sometimes that's why I tell people about me, I don't when people be bragging about knowledge. And it's just kind of a comedy to me. Because sometimes when you hear some of the people who perceive to be uneducated to be knowledgeable.
Absolutely.
Thank you. To make some analysis about their own. It's actually big fears from my heart.
To the last call, I will do.
That's a program for my brother Bato. For the leisure of Bato and rest of the other people who are called civilians, I suppose they Korean English judge here, I think. They feel that everybody should buy. They feel that it's about UP and CDC. No, my brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
You still got call coming?
You keep being backward. My brother is all about
Thank you.
not about
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. That who you Thank you very much.
The loud. So we can do our process.
Yeah, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Almost 11.
It's Tony Jimmy from Virginia. Thanks for taking the call.
You're welcome. Yeah, go ahead, man. Have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. Good evening to all our panelists. Good morning. My comment is just about the education system and the education minister. Contrary to what Flask was saying, I think she did a good job by going out there and getting the information on a first-hand basis. That's needs assessment. It's needed. I mean, that's something that we don't do in Liberia, needs assessment. We just assume that we know what the people need.
Right.
Oftentimes it fails, but by going out there and getting it, I think she did a good job. I think she was a bit generous by giving the education system a 5, because there's a lot of factors that contribute to, a successful educational environment. It's not just, teaching the children English. The environment. Let me say this straight, and I'll end on this.
The structure,
yeah. And we support education in Liberia. We went there and we did needs assessment. Did you know that there are schools in Liberia, in Monrovia, that don't have bathrooms? That teachers were leaving the student in the classroom unattended to go use the bathroom at home in the bushes. The kids were using the bathroom in the bushes. No books, no chairs, no libraries. And we're expecting our students to do well. Remember, this is the same education system that produced 25,000 students that couldn't pass an entry exam to LU. So there's a lot of factors that contribute to this. I think instead of trying to criticize this lady and say she's going to fail without her even, having a year in, I think we need to gather around her and support her.
Absolutely.
I'm not a UPS, but I think she's on the right track. I think she has the potential to do well.
Absolutely.
Thanks for taking the call today.
Yeah, man, you're welcome, man. Thank you for your input, bro. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, yeah, let us do our closing because it's almost 11. I think nursing closed from the station already. So, Rudolph, we start with you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
1 minute.
Ture, I do like the fact that you spoke to the subjectivity of Martin Collins's claim. Collins' claim, rather.
We'll come to you later. Go ahead. Okay, Vasco, go ahead. We'll make it last. 1 minute, 30 seconds, Vasco. I'll give you 30 seconds. 1 minute.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, you see, some of the things we've been talking here. Nelson, Mr. Nelson, Martin, look, smart people can see things far from distant. Look at CEO today. Every day CEO come on this show. Some of us here, we just talk, but we all know the contribution from CEO. A CEO can kind of sit here and tell you that this government is walking a path of failure. You in power for 6 months, you do anything, you fail. We're not telling no some person can tell you say the government finish failing. No. The 6 months you spend in power, you fail the Liberian people that 6 months. Because everything you promised them, you haven't achieved anything yet. Nothing. Listen to the teacher. In fact, how much nursing the people pay on you to them, cutting almost $30 US for that kind of a struggling economy. Everything just went backward. I feel sorry, and this government need to be careful. Look, now they have started federal ministries. I got some of my friends working to Social Security. A many program all done. Today we have a National Port Authority. Hey man, taking Liberia out of job. When we talk, they say, oh, that's solution. You're taking Liberia out of job in that kind of a struggling and suffering company. An angry man or hungry man is an angry man. We don't have security in our countries. The government need to be very careful for what they're doing. When we came, we created avenues. Even if it wasn't much, but people were taking something home. They say, oh, we made a payroll so crowded. Those people that we employ and give job to, they were Liberian. We were not thinking where you from, whether you United Palestine, you what. You all know, everyone you know the story. When we came to power, you never heard that CDC dancers and other people taking other people from power. No, we didn't do it. Why are you doing it now when you came to rescue? You came to rescue. You can change CDC mind. If you keep CDC on a job and they're taking a regular pay, you don't know. 2-3 years from now, they say, well, I'm working for the rescue people and they're treating me good and this and that. But you're creating more hate in the country. They're dividing the country. They look at what the police doing, the DEA. They just go around and shooting people, kill innocent person, child, they feel they, and they coming back when they're sorry. This thing have, since the war, we have
30
never
minutes,
experienced
Vasco.
kind of thing.
I mean, 30 seconds.
Since the war, we never experienced kind of thing. Police that go, people protesting and they start shooting. When we were in power, people go protest, we were carrying food for them because they are Liberian. They have the right to express their grievances or grievances. I mean, things are turning so bad in Liberia, but those that will speak out now, history will judge them. You'll be on the side of history tomorrow. People will say, yeah, when they think we're going bad, although we don't want to put it there, but when we're going bad, we spoke out. And today, what a lot of people now, even sedition now, they turn to spoon to listing. Because CEO played a major role in bringing this man to power.
Thank you, Vasco.
But today, CEO is one person that is exposing all of the bad deals coming from this government.
Thank you.
It is not right. And he's just sitting. Just said President, just said former president of Bobo. But I think they want to get on that Bobo term too. Top of Bobo. So gentlemen, my man, I know y'all beat on me every day, but that's it. The government failing.
Thank you.
And I know you can't beat on me, brother. But I want to ask one question. Show me one thing you know the government have done successfully. We're all breaking the laws. We're not talking about yellow missionary today because all I want to finish breaking it. We're not discussing that.
Thank you so much. Rudolph. You talk for 3 minutes with Vasco. Nobody.
First of all, guys, sorry, my son was giving me a hard time.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, so you know, as I was saying, Toure, I do like the fact that you spoke to the subjectivity of Martin's claim or Martin's feelings, pretty much. You know, and I mean, I feel like, you know, it just so happened to be that Martin is a voice that a lot of people listen to. So yeah, but what Martin said on the radio, I mean, I think it was just his personal expectations, like we all do, we all have. I mean, Toure said it right. He said he himself has his own expectations, but for him he is given 2 years. I mean, me too. I have my own expectations. I mean, do I think that they are all being met? I don't think so yet. But then I also have a timeline for mine, which was 2 years, but then I have reduced it to 1 year, 6 months, right? So yes, we should understand that as well. I mean, I think what he said was subjective, and because you may ask somebody else, and they will tell you, say, "Oh no, this government, I mean, has done the most that any government could have done in 6 months." That someone could tell you that, right? So yeah, we should understand that people have their own different expectations, and they will tell you how based on how they feel. But you know, I see the need to address this thing about rescue. I mean, to replay the rescue card, Vasco too just came from playing the card. You know, we have to understand this thing, right? Liberia has been rescued. And I would just factor in an example of what a rescue is. You know, for example, if a girl is being strangled by some strong man, right, and then you come to her aid and you are able to make sure you get her strangler off her, she has been rescued, right? So what now is left is for her to get some medical attention and stuff like that. So now, guys, if we say that, oh, they said they're coming to rescue, and Liberia has been rescued, because that was the exact case of Liberia in the hands of George Weah. The country was being milked by him. I mean, like everything, like nothing was working. Laws were being broken, and I mean, there was no order. We have rescued the country from those careless hands, right? So now, I mean, we are all optimistic. We are all looking forward to see what is next, right? And I mean, for us to just say, oh, nothing is going on like Vasco, I mean, that is not true, actually. You know, like my brother Morba said, government takes time to, to settle in. Like we are all here speaking to JMB experience and stuff like that, and I think that also informs most of our perspectives, right? Because JMB is very experienced, so we expect him to have had all of these solutions. And guys, let me tell you this: no country in the world has been changed completely by politicians. You can point out, you can say Lee Kuan Yew or whatever. No, the people was around Lee Kuan Yew to utter that change. So if we the people be very, very pessimistic and say, oh, it will not work, oh, he has failed, or he is, from what we are seeing is leading to failure, guys, they say the tongue is a very powerful organ in the human body. I'm a Christian, so I am quoting the Bible pretty much. What the tongue says, it's very possible for it to happen. Because when you continue to speak it, then you will act it as well. So I think we should all be positive, we should be optimistic, and we should pray for our leader. We should pray for our leaders, actually, so that they can make that they can do better for us all to succeed as a country. Thank you.
Thank you. Dre.
Yeah, Rudolph, my man, you trying hard. You trying. Look, you're gonna bring Lee Kuan Yew. Let me tell you, you know what Lee Kuan Yew did? Lee Kuan Yew killed people, bro. You had to it was a national policy across the board. You follow it, all right? No exception. So these people were not someone that, oh, you like it, or you know what I mean, or you like it and go to the, no. It was a policy. Hold on, wait. He's a nationalist, or he's not a nationalist? Lee Kuan Yew was a nationalist, or he's not a nationalist?
Of course he was.
Okay, great. Do you know what nationalists do? Do you know what they do? So let me tell you this. Liberia is not that kind of country, and I pray to God that Liberia don't be that kind of country, right? But I'm telling you, leaders, when you are leading something, you the first, right? A trendsetter, all right? You set the trend, and then everybody else follow through, all right? So you have to be very deliberate. You have to be intentional, okay? What we are seeing, we are not seeing any intentional or policy-driven kind of thing going on here. And if they are doing that, they're at least not showing us. And something else, the president is not talking. What's up with the LDEA? The president is decisive. What's up with the LDEA? Why up to today's day, it's coming to a month, we don't know what the heck is going on with the LDEA? Why? Why should it take this long? Why should it take this long? I'm just asking a question. Be decisive, man. If people have to be fired, let people get fired, let people go.
Is the job not going on? We have somebody who is competent, who is doing it.
Who is heading the FDA right now?
Investigation.
Who's heading the FDA?
He was just in studio yesterday in Spoon. Did you listen to Spoon? He was just in studio yesterday.
Who?
He has been working now for over 20 something days.
I'm acting, right? I'm acting director, right?
So the work is happening. That's what I'm saying.
Bro, it's not about that. We're talking about president. How are you going to wait for, how long you have to tell you? How long you have to take for you to make a decision on something that actually play in front of everybody? The recordings are there. Everything is there. How long you have to wait to come up with a report? Look, Labrador don't have the luxury of waiting around. Okay? We don't have that luxury. Job has to be done. People have to be.
What is the danger in waiting when the job has been done? That is my question.
These are things that we are talking about, right? For an aging statement who understands Liberia's problem, at least from his omission, that he understands the problem, that he's been around the river for so long that he know where all the route is to cross that river. So, Mr. President, we're just telling you, help us cross this river. That's all we are asking. We're not asking for plenty things, okay? Help us cross this river to the promised land. You've been in government for 48, 45 years. I don't
Now
really
you
know.
are sounding like a typical
I know you've been in government for a very long
guy
time.
for the 8 years, 45.
You see, look, there's the thing. You know me for fact. I'm not a unity partisan. All right. I supported this government.
I am not either. I'm not.
I knew that this government, that the president had a realistic chance of defeating George Weah. George Weah was public enemy number one. Void of your political persuasion, we knew that George Weah was a bad product, right? We needed to get him out of there. That's why we gravitated towards JMB, right? Or state men who have done everything well, who have excelled in everything, right? At this aging time,
tell a second.
Or to set the foundation for a prosperous Liberia. And we cannot set a foundation if we bring lackadaisical about basic things, right? This president have to really, really roll up his sleeves.
So you think being pessimistic is the answer? Being pessimistic and saying that they are failing, and from what we are seeing, they will fail.
I'm just saying they are lackadaisical. They are lackadaisical about their approach. They are not deliberate. They are not intentional. They lack coordination. There are so many things. I didn't mean that, bro. Look, and for what I say, let's give the government time. I totally understand what you're saying. But it's like a freshman going to school. How long should it take a freshman to adapt to the rigor of college? I'm asking you right now. Are you giving the most part,
it takes you a whole year.
Are you giving them first semester or are you giving them second semester?
You give them the whole year in many institutions. Do you know that many schools, until your second year,
I get you.
Your second year, do you know that?
Go off and come out.
If you give them the whole year, but you know very well that they're going to have all of their curriculum, everything set, right?
No, people don't. Most schools, people don't even declare major until their second year.
We gotta go, my man.
Go ahead.
My man, we gotta go. We know we all dress the devil. Now we want to disgrace the devil.
No, but if you bring a whole school example in, then I will tell you. Don't declare major until they are.
Let me do my closing. Now I'll soon be leaving. I got work to do. All right. So I agree. You know, some of the statement from my brother Toure, I agree a little bit, but not all. But end of the day, we all fought for the government to come to power, right? And the government has seen the power. All we want, we need update, how everything working, and we want for things to work. You understand? So end of the day, we'll come here, we will say what we want to say, but in the government hand to produce, to do the best for the Liberian people. We only come here, we say something concerning the ill in the society, some errors, some leakage, but you leave the government to come out to implement these things. So we appealing to the government how much we all on a platform. We use our time, our resources. I can always emphasize on it because at that time I could remember 3 good days I never put sleep in my eye. I ain't get paid for it. Nobody not pay me. I use my time and resources just to make sure the government do the right thing for our people. So we are appealing to the government to do the right thing. We all understand the government just entered the 6th month. And we're looking at people looking at 6 months to be 2-3 years. No. Before any government succeed, you grade it from 1 to 4 years. Then you know the weight. Then you know what they have done within a year and what they have produced within a year. But we can just come we just can come and say the government need to produce in 6 months. The government need to produce in 5 months. We agree. Everybody got different way of thinking. Everybody got different way of saying things. But to be on the right side, get the government 1 to 4 years, and then we can come out. But again, let us put fire under the government. We shouldn't come and sit. We say, oh, because we're waiting for 1 year, we're waiting for 1 to 4 years for the government to succeed. Then we still put fire on the government as I would like we on the platform every time. We emphasizing on the ills. So I urge every Liberians, we like more especially with the panelists on the show, that we stay by our word. We shouldn't be like seditions who come doing Georgia regime. They say all the good about Georgia in when the auditor was killed. The people say the auditor people kill themselves. When Georgia build houses, they say Georgia will get money when he took power. So we shouldn't be. And I'm happy because fast. I mean, Toure can come here and get UNASA and also make recommendation for the government to do the right thing. My brother Rula can do the same. I can, you know, like everybody who support this unity party government can do the same. We are not somebody who worshiping anybody. We don't want no favoritism for anybody. We don't want nobody to heal us. We heal ourselves. That's the reason why when we go like bro, we're all by ourselves. We don't run to people. You understand? So I then urge the government to do the right thing. So our Liberian people at least can live a better life like other country that Rwanda then. But at least that is based on the rule of law. And let me conclude by saying that the president must fire people who not doing it well properly, who doing maybe involving corruption, doing other things, bribery, other things. Let the government investigate. When you found guilty, he fire you immediately, no wasting time. Because that's that type of, I mean, that type of Sonny said a good precedent to anybody that coming into government. So I will close on that. Thank you, guys, and thank you for everybody on the show. Thank you for the listening up. I think Leon and Nelson will join here because I gotta go.
Putting the government feet to the fire is different from being person missing. I just want to throw that out there.
So guys, I want to say thanks to everyone. Have we all done our closing?
I'm cautiously optimistic at this point.
Yeah, so thanks to everyone, man. And I think it's been a great show. Thank you to Ray. Thank you, Moba, for holding it down. Thank you, Rudolph and Vasco as well. We look forward to being here tomorrow for another great show. Yeah.
I really enjoy the government. I small for you to the part of war. You to live. I can be say funny message to Baja. I can put in the chat.